Welcome to Whiskey and Wonder.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Whiskey and Wonder, episode 21.
Are we sure?
I'm 99% sure, but I am going to double check. 21. Yes, it is.
All right. 21 episodes.
We are still here. I am Tyler.
I am Megan.
We are together. We are here, and we are rocking and rolling.
With the whiskeys.
Absolutely. I want y'all to know, everybody on YouTube, I actually just changed shirts before this. I was wearing a tank top, and I looked like a, I don't know, just like a hairy Italian guy. So...
Oh my God.
I'm gonna try not to wear tank tops when I'm on camera.
Okay. Tyler keeps his house freezing, so I have a winter jacket on because, I'm cold. I'm always cold.
I'm cheap.
I'm always cold.
It's like 65 degrees in here.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Actually, it's like 67.
I'm still dying. I want it to be like 75.
Hell no. No.
Oh.
That's way too high.
Oh no.
All right. So let's hop right into it because I know we got a decent amount of announcements today. We got a decent amount of announcements. What a tongue twister.
Did you switch places with me?
No.
Okay.
I never have. I've pretended to be able to talk. So status on the website. It is very, very close to being done. I put in some serious work this week on it.
Yes, he did. He's been beasting it.
Like a little busy bee.
He's been doing a lot. So thank you, Tyler.
I do what I can. Stickers are still $3. We still have some left.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way to order them on the website. You will pay directly $3 to PayPal because of that, it's a struggle to put other products on there right now just because of shipping and whatnot. So I think we're going to do a little bit of gauging interest.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
On some of the products. So we are, as we've talked about before, we're looking at doing some whiskey tumblers. We've got prices and we've got where we want to get them from. I'm waiting to hear back on lead times. So that's kind of why we're gauging. We don't physically have them yet. So what we're thinking about doing is we're going to offer, like I said, whiskey tumblers. They hold, if I'm not mistaken, I'll check real quick.
Standard whiskey tumbler size.
13 and a half ounces. It's a standard whiskey tumbler. So we're going to sell them for one for $8. If you buy two, it'll be 15. If you buy three, it'll be 20. And if you buy four, it'll be 25. Mm-hmm. All that will be plus shipping. So we'll have to communicate on the shipping charge and whatnot. And right now it can just be, we'll have to do it through PayPal until we can get an online store set up. But yep. So that's in the works. Shoot us an email if you're interested in any of that.
Definitely message us on Instagram or wherever. Just let us know if that's something you're into.
Absolutely. In addition to glasses, we're working on some t-shirts as well. I don't have nearly as many details on t-shirts. Now we're going to move on a little bit beyond merch to whiskey, and we have ordered our next Flaviar round.
Yes.
So that should be coming within
a few weeks,
I think.
Probably a couple weeks, but
yeah,
I'm excited for this month. Quarters? This quarter's Flaviar.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for it too. We do have a couple things lined up, or a couple whiskeys lined up, that are actually sitting right here off camera that you guys can't see. So we have some. We've received several requests, and I've got a running list that needs to be. I need to double check it and make sure I didn't miss anybody's requests. But it is on the website. Everybody will be able to see that. It's got some of our desires, things we want to try, and it's got listener suggestions on there. So, that's something that's ever changing. I'll constantly be updating that.
Amazing.
In addition, we are flirting with the idea of Patreon. I had never used Patreon before and I started playing with it. And it is, I don't know if there's a way you can just donate on Patreon.
I don't think so. I think you have to donate on PayPal.
Yeah, I think donations are strictly through PayPal, which we'll have a button for that on the website homepage. Patreon, like I said, we're flirting with the idea. It's essentially a monthly subscription and we can do different tiers. And so we don't know, each tier gets you a benefit. So I think we've settled on prices for each tier.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 3 tiers. The lowest tier is going to be gut rot. It will cost $5 a month, and we don't know what you'll get yet, but you'll get stuff. That might be stuff like early access to content. We might send you a free sticker.
Something.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Something. We'll figure it out.
$5 a month. The next one is going to be called Top Shelf. It'll be $10 a month, and you'll get everything you get with rot gut.
Gut rot.
Gut rot gut. I've heard it both ways. You'll get everything you get with that plus some extra content. And then we have luxury, which is $20 a month. And you'll get everything with the previous 2 plus some extra.
Something else exciting.
Yeah, usually probably a little more personal. And
yeah,
I know we're planning to do like live streams and whatnot at some point, but that's down the road. And so I don't think we're going to make the Patreon live at the moment.
Not yet.
We're going to hold off on that for a little while, but we are thinking about it.
Yeah,
and just
it's in the works.
Yep, just to put the idea out there for you guys.
Yes.
With all that being said, once again, we are Whiskey and Wonder. And if you're on YouTube, you can see all the places you can reach us. If you're not, you can get us on Instagram at Whiskey and Wonder. I'm at Whiskey Tyler.
I'm at whiskey.megan.
Oh shit, I'm at whiskey.tyler. Did I leave out the dot?
You did.
Oh shit.
You also gave the wrong Instagram for the podcast.
What'd I say?
Whiskey and Wonder.
Oh my Lord Jesus Christ. Well, I just fucked all that up. Forget everything I've said and just go look in the show notes.
At Whiskey Podcast for our Instagram.
At whiskey.tyler.
At whiskey.megan.
There we go. YouTube, we're Whiskey and Wonder. And you can email us at whiskeyandwonder.com or whiskeyandwonder at gmail.com. This is where I've been. I've been reading all these things and playing with them so much this week. They've all mushed into one in my brain.
Whiskeyandwonder at gmail.com is our email, to reiterate that.
Yes. All this will be in the show notes. If you're on YouTube, it's right there on the screen. So,
yep.
All right. Whew.
That was tough.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Opening the bottle.
All right.
All right. I would like to say before we get too far into this, friend Shelby was nice enough to, Megan and I were unable to make it to the liquor store this week. And so friend Shelby was nice enough to go on our behalf. And so we asked her to get one whiskey that someone suggested we try. And friend Shelby went above and beyond and got that and another whiskey that her brother, John, had asked us to try. And it is Templeton Rye. And she surprised us with that as a gift.
Yes. So thank you, friend Shelby.
Yes. Thank you, Shelby. And let me just say, I don't know if I mentioned this on here, but I know I said it to Megan off the air last week or the week before. But we were talking about getting some whiskey stones. And this Templeton Rye actually came with whiskey stones. So guess what I got?
Some whiskey stones.
Some whiskey stones.
All right. So Tyler already mentioned that this is the Templeton Rye. This is the Templeton Rye that's been aged 4 years. So I'm getting this information directly from the Templeton Rye website. History lives in every bottle we make. Born from the Prohibition era Kirchhoff recipe, nearly a century old, Templeton's Rye's history lives in every bottle we make. it was in the early 1920s that many defiant residents of a small town in Iowa became outlaws, producing a high caliber and much sought after whiskey known as Templeton Rye. Thanks to its smooth finish, the American Rye Whiskey earned the nickname of the Good Stuff and quickly brought notoriety to the tiny town of Templeton with a population of only 350 people.
Ugh. For everybody that's not on YouTube, I've been playing with that cork trying to get it to pop when Megan wasn't talking, and finally she paused long enough and I had to really yank at it.
So this is a company that was born in the Prohibition era. This is their original recipe from Prohibition era. And it's supposed to be something iconic. It's supposed to be some American history. They've been doing this since, 1920s. Yeah, that's good. And so I'm excited to see what this is going to be, what it's going to taste like. I'm going to pull up our tasting notes and stuff, and I'm going to smell while Tyler talks to you guys.
I am excited for this. I honestly, had planned to do the other whiskey that we had asked friend Shelby to get. But I started as I was working on the website, I started putting together a list and a compilation of whiskeys we've done and realized we've done exactly one of everything except Canadian whiskeys. We have sadly not done one yet, and we have done a fuck ton of bourbons.
All the bourbons.
Yeah, pretty
we
much.
Apparently really like bourbon.
Yeah. We also live in the South, so probably more bourbon here than other places. But when I saw that, I said, well, we're not doing another bourbon. We're going to branch out and do something. We're going to do this rye. So we can at least say we have more than one of something other than bourbon.
It smells really good. It has like a really sugary smell, and a really minty smell. It's kind of like, the winter mint lifesavers, I guess, is what I can best compare it to. That's my overwhelming power, is just sweet, minty, a little bit of alcohol-y, but sweet mint. That's what I'm going with.
Definitely get the mint. Wintergreen, excuse me. And I get, if I swirl it real nice, the sweetness you're talking about. I can't put my finger on if it's like a syrup or a caramel.
It's like sugar.
Vanilla. Yeah, it is. There is a sweet scent in there.
It smells like a candy factory.
I can't put my finger on the sweetness though, but you're absolutely right there. It's sweet with mint.
Yes. Well, we are supposed to be smelling winter mint, white sugar, dill, and alcohol notes, according to one review. And according to Templeton Rye's website, the aroma is dry, grassy, and natural spice.
If I was better at this, I wouldn't have thrown the box it came in away, because it actually had the notes on it. I don't remember if it was the nose or just I believe it had the nose and everything on it. Maybe, did you check their website? See what they?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you got it right there.
Up. Yeah, that's perfect. The dry, grassy, and natural spice is supposed to be the aroma.
So I was just gonna say, I definitely get what you said, the first one, the winter mint, the sweetness and the alcohol flavor. I smell those completely. The dill, not as much.
I don't smell any dill.
Oh my God. Yes, I do. Have you been swirling it?
No, but I will start swirling it as we're doing this.
Yeah, swirl it. That releases the nose a little bit. I learned that this week. So I have a page about whiskeys on the website, just in case, just a little biography kind of about all of them. And so I learned a fuck ton about whiskey this week that I didn't know, which is great.
Congratulations. Or thank you, Tyler. Not congratulations. God, it's been.
Oh yeah, I smell that dill. Oh, I can smell.
Oh, wow. Okay. After swirling it, I 100% smell dill.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting the way that works. I also now can smell like a green grass, like a freshly mowed grass smell right on the very tip when it first hits my nose.
That dill is overwhelming. I mean, dill
That's
is
very
kinda,
weird.
yeah. All
That's
right.
weird how much that swirling it made it pop. Interesting.
I am excited.
Oh, a little too excited. Tyler just spilled on himself.
Yeah. I'm not gonna waste it. It came flying out and landed on my hand. Yeah. That's what happens when I'm watching the fucking camera instead of
The liquid.
The liquid, yeah. All right, so I'm excited to do this.
All right. I'm going to watch Tyler take a drink and I'm going to fill the air as he does it. It's always interesting watching our faces when we first get a taste of a new whiskey. I think I'm a lot more expressive than Tyler is.
I can't express, and then I need to think about it. So I get dill for sure. And I get a little spice. I think I would say it's more of a minty spice than it is a peppery spice. With subtle sweetness on the back end.
I 100% am getting dill. And then very minty as well. So like dill with winter mint, and maybe a little bit of. It tastes like taking a spoonful of sugar at the very end, like just licking some just white sugar.
I get a little bit of woody. It's like woody sugar is the lingering flavor left afterwards.
Interesting.
Oaky, kind of a oaky flavor, but also very sweet.
I'm not getting any wood. Not in this one. I'm
Okay.
getting mint, dill, and sweet. But
All right. So what are we supposed to be?
we're supposed to be tasting a hint of caramel, butterscotch, toffee, and allspice, which might be where you're getting the earthy flavors, that allspice.
Yeah, I don't know what allspice tastes like.
Yes,
So
you do.
I couldn't pick it out of a lineup. I'll say it that way. I couldn't tell you, hey, allspice tastes like this.
Rye spices and a faint dill note were present. Notes of honey, vanilla, wintergreen gum, and dill. So it seems like basically we're looking at dill, mint, candy. Dill, mint, candy.
Yeah, on the so the first couple times I took a sip, ooh, I just got
What happened?
I just got that grass flavor on the back end of that one. The first couple times it went straight to mid, which is where the dill is for me. But I just let that one go on the tip of my tongue, and I got sweet just for an instant sweetness. So I'm assuming that's probably the caramel and butterscotch that they're talking about.
Yeah. I know it's too early to judge this one, but as of right now, I really, really like this rye. The finish is really nice. It's a very smooth finish. There's not really a burn. It kind of makes your mouth sweet.
It's best way I can describe it is it has a burn, but it's not an unpleasant burn. It's like a wintergreen gum
Yeah.
type of burn.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Definitely.
feels fresh afterwards. Which unlike some, more of a peppery burn is like a burn.
No, yeah, this is definitely a mint. I really like it. That's what I have to say about that. So I guess I'm gonna sip on it some more as we go on and do the rest of the podcast. But as of the first 4 sips of tasting it, this is going to be ranking pretty high for me. So I'm excited. Yes.
All right. So I did not put this on the schedule, and
Ruh-roh.
I'm going to change this real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to scoot Trivia with Tyler up and put it in front of the Wonder segment.
Oh, he's switching shit up on me, guys.
I am.
Oh my God.
Just because it is it's a throwback Tyler Nugget.
A throwback?
Yeah, we're gonna throw it back to hold on, don't tell me. It is episode number 17.
That was not that long ago.
That wasn't, but I can't count. So
okay. This is like a blink throwback.
Yes. So the search to recover debris from the Challenger disaster in 1986 resulted in the discovery of 13 shipwrecks, 2 lost airplanes, and 35 kilos of cocaine.
Oh, man.
So, throwback to the Columbia Challenger disaster episode.
That
episode
brought
17.
about 35 kilos of cocaine?
25. Did
25.
I say 35?
I don't know. I heard 35.
25 kilos.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Yes.
That is a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
And it was just like sitting in the ocean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. I bet some drug lord is upset his cocaine never made it.
He may be there with it.
Oh.
Or maybe he put it there with some people.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you never know.
Okay, I get it.
One more thing, since we just did trivia with Tyler, I have reached out to our voiceover person about getting
Our voice actress.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
Yes, shout out. I've reached out about getting some phrases done, something like the Wonder segment, trivia with Tyler. So we're waiting to hear back from her on those.
Yes.
And with that, we will hop into the Wonder segment.
Okay. You're teaching me this week something.
I am.
I'm excited. What are we learning?
Anybody that is not aware, today is Sunday. I almost said April. It's Sunday, February 7th, 2021, which means it is the
Super Bowl Sunday.
It is the Superb Owl.
Superb Owl
Sunday.
Okay.
I think they technically have a copyright on it, so we're going to call it the Superb Owl.
Oh.
No,
okay.
I'm just kidding. We're calling it Super Bowl.
Okay.
But they really
do they really have a copyright on it?
They do. That's why you hear like radio commercials say the big game, because they have to pay if they.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the Superb Owl. I will call it that.
I don't care. I don't think we'll get in that trouble. So, in honor of Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to learn about the history of the NFL and the Super Bowl and how it came to be.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you some Super Bowl facts.
Okay.
Towards the end.
All right. I only have kind of recently started to get into football. The biggest season I was into football was Super Bowl 50. That was when Denver and Carolina faced off. And I watched that season the whole way through religiously.
Fair weather fan. I'm going to say it.
Okay. Rude. Ouch. All right. Go on, Tyler.
All right. So football can be traced back into the late 1800s, where it was primarily a regional sport. Teams played other local teams, geographically local teams. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure you guys have heard us talk about it. It was, we had a previous podcast that failed. We talked about baseball. It's kind of like how baseball was in the beginning, where it was a regional thing.
Okay.
Teams in New York played teams in New York, and teams
it was just like
state by state.
Yeah, friends kind of, I guess, getting together.
Well, it was just
different groups of.
It wasn't nationwide.
No,
it was very regional.
Tiny.
Yeah,
tiny.
It was unorganized. In 1892, the first professional players were Ben Sport Donnelly and Pudge. Oh hell, Heffelfinger.
Pudge all hell.
Pudge all hell Heffelfinger.
Oh, all hell.
I said all hell. No.
Okay, so no, you were saying like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was saying, oh shit, having to pronounce Heffelfinger.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying, but then I
Yeah.
thought you were saying his like nickname was all hell.
Yeah, no.
No. Okay.
Both were paid to play for the Allegheny Athletic Association, which was part of the Western Pennsylvania Senior Independent Football Conference. Try that again. The Allegheny Athletic Association was part of the Western Pennsylvania Senior Independent Football Conference. I like how
Very
we're both
good.
nodding our
That was
head
very
in
good.
unison.
We're like nodding along, like, yeah. God.
Several attempts were made to organize a nationwide league. One attempt was even made by Major League Baseball, but every one of these efforts failed.
Baseball is better than football. Fight me.
I'm not going to fight you because I agree.
I mean, a lot of people are going to fight me.
Fight us.
Yeah.
I got your back.
All right.
So the Ohio-based Ohio League, shocking name, was the most successful regional league at the time, and the New York Pro Championship was a distant second. In 1917, the owner of the Rochester Jeffersons, his name was Leo Lyons, decided he was going to take his team to Ohio, kind of a barnstorming thing. We'll basically we're going to go several states over and play a bunch of local teams there.
I love the name Leo Lyons. Like,
that sounds like a movie character.
Yes, I love that name. So hats off to his parents. I'm sure he hated them, but damn, I love that name.
Well, Leo Lyons took his team through Ohio, and they played. They actually got crushed by Jim Thorpe's Canton Bulldogs, and Jim Thorpe was considered the greatest player of this time. After this crushing loss, Lyons and Thorpe began discussing the formation of a national league. Just when it seemed like things were starting to get rolling with this national league, the U.S. joins in World War I.
Oh, that put a hamper on things.
That put a hold on everything. And on top of that, a flu pandemic in 1918 made things 10 times worse. But we can't relate to that at all, can
yeah.
we?
What's that? What's a pandemic? I don't know.
All right. So by 1919, many teams had become more equally matched, and football began gaining more popularity. Two separate and mostly unorganized regional circuits kind of developed out of all the chaos. One was basically in the Midwest region, and one was around I don't want to say the Northeast, but around the Pennsylvania, New York, Mid-Atlantic.
Northeast.
I think of like Boston and Maine and all that in the Northeast too.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to call it the East.
Okay.
Mid-Atlantic East. The Midwestern teams tended to play on Sundays, while the Eastern teams played on Saturdays due to religious blue laws. Which basically, Sunday is
Can't do
the
anything
Lord's
on
Day.
Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday is for Jesus.
Jesus. So we're going to fast forward now to August 20th, 1920. In a Canton, Ohio auto showroom, a group of football team owners from the area decided to hold a meeting. The goal of this meeting was to organize professional football in a way similar to professional baseball and how it had organized itself. I keep scrolling back up here on accident. The owners agreed to stop attempting to poach players from one another's teams. They agreed to work together on a schedule or scheduling games. And most importantly, they united to form the American Professional Football Conference, the APFC. A month later, on September 17th, there was a second meeting, and this time it included teams from Indiana, Illinois, New York, Detroit, and the Ohio gang from the previous meeting.
Illinois.
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 Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Either one of those fit, I think.
Wait, hold on.
No. No. No.
Oh, yes. It's coming.
It's not.
It is.
Nope.
The teams agreed to stop poaching players and made a slight name change from conference to association. And soon the APFA was hosting its inaugural season. In total, 11 games were played. No, I'm sorry. In total, 11 teams joined and participated in the first season. And the Akron Pros, nice name, they won the first championship.
Good on you, Akron.
By 1921, the new league consisted of 22 teams, but membership was really unstable. Teams would fold halfway through. They'd just stop playing.
Oh, dang.
Actually, during that 1919 inaugural season, only 4 teams actually finished the season. And that problem would plague the league throughout the 1920s.
Oh, snap. So it almost didn't make it.
It almost didn't, but it did. And interestingly, 2 of the original 11 teams still exist in some form today.
Who?
I'm sorry. I always want to say Decanter. It's the Decatur Staleys. Ended up moving from Decatur to Chicago in 1921, and the name was changed to the Bears in 1922.
Oh, so the Bears have been around since the OG times.
Yes, they have. The other team still around in some form is the Racine Cardinals. Racine was a street in Chicago, which the team decided to name themselves after. The Cardinals played in Chicago until 1959, when they decided to relocate to St. Louis, and then moved again in 1988 to Phoenix, where they became the Arizona Cardinals.
Interesting.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
One other team from this time period is still around, and that is my Green Bay Packers, who, although they didn't join the league until 1921, they did originally form in 1919, and they are the oldest professional sports team to never have changed locations.
Really?
So they've been in Green Bay since 1919. Although they did play for a while, they played regularly in Milwaukee, which
That's like a stone's throw away.
It is, and it wasn't their home. They would just play a couple games there. And they actually did that up until the 1990s. They would play at least one game in Milwaukee.
Have I asked you on the podcast why Green Bay is your team?
I don't remember.
I don't think I have. So why for you, good old North Carolina boy, is Green Bay your team?
2 reasons. When it took me a long time to get into enjoying football and just watching it. I was, I don't know, 10, well, yeah, I guess I was 11 or 12, maybe 13 before I started enjoying it and actually doing it, on my own.
Yeah.
But when I was in like 6th grade, not 6th grade, I'm sorry, when I was like 6 or 7 years old in like kindergarten or 1st grade, my best friend at the time was a huge NFL fan, and he told me I threw the ball like Brett Favre. So I became an instant fan of Brett Favre. And
adorable.
What team does he play for? The Green Bay Packers. Well, that's my team.
Adorable.
Also, my grandfather pulled for the Packers back in the 60s. So those 2 reasons.
All right.
That is why I am a Charlotte, North Carolina Green Bay Packer fan, and I will never, ever. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I always said if the Panthers got rid of a couple players, Cam Newton and Steve Smith and who was the guy that beat his wife that went to the Cowboys? And Josh Norman.
Okay.
Yeah, Greg Hardy. I always said if they got rid of those 4 people, I would like the team. And Cam was a good quarterback. He was just a sore loser, and I didn't like that. So
well,
yeah. So
we can talk about Super Bowl 50 in a little bit.
What?
Super Bowl 50? That's where Cam lost all of his mojo.
Oh, no. I'm going to make a long story short here. I went to a game his rookie season. I got tickets last minute for basically free, and it was against the Titans, and they got decimated 33-3. And he got benched in the 4th quarter. Cam did, and he like walked off the field and didn't go shake the other quarterback's hand, and that just immediately lost all respect in my book, and he didn't do much to earn it back over the next couple of years. He's a cocky bastard when he's winning, and he's a sore loser when he loses. So I don't like Cam Newton. Anyway, off my high horse. In 1922, the league set up a headquarters in Canton, Ohio, and it changed the name one more time, hopefully. This time they settled on National Football League, and thus the NFL was born.
What are the chances of them changing that name now?
As in today, or?
As in today. Yeah.
We'll find out.
Oh.
Maybe I have some insider info.
Oh, okay.
The early NFL was a shit show.
Sounds kind of like early baseball.
Teams, yes, it was. Teams played different amounts of games, yet the championship was awarded to the team who'd won the most games. So
that's fair.
Yeah. You might play 7 games and won 4, and I might play 5 games and won 5. And I win the championship. So interesting way to settle that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Some teams actually even scheduled themselves to play college teams, and these games were counted towards their win-loss record. So
that's fair.
Recipe for success there, boys. Good job.
That's totally fair.
It was literally the Wild West of the NFL, at least. Since they had made player poaching against the rules, larger teams who wanted a player from a smaller team would just buy the smaller team in order to gain the rights to that player they wanted.
Oh,
big brain time. Teams came and went.
I want you. I take all of you.
Yep. And you, all 19 of you other guys are laid off. I just want the 20th guy. Good luck.
Fuck.
Teams came and went from the league due to owners deciding to trade franchises and just constant movement of teams to new cities.
Rich people.
Oh, God. You're telling me. In 1933, the league decided to add 3 teams, which brought the league up to 10 teams at that time. The teams were also organized into, I see a typo.
No one else can see the typo.
I know, but it says, it's funny. It says the Eastern and Western divisions. It should be the Eastern. And I tried to add the letter in there and still put it in the wrong spot. I put the Essiton. So it was organized into the Eastern and Western divisions. In the East, you had the Brooklyn Dodgers, not the baseball team, the Boston Redskins, now the Washington football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, now the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the Pirates are the baseball.
I will touch on that shortly.
Okay.
In the West,
I will leave you alone.
Oh, no, you're fine. In the West, you had the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, the Chicago Cardinals, the Cincinnati Reds, again, not the baseball team, and the Portsmouth Spartans. It was decided that the winners of each division would meet in an NFL championship game each year. And it's worth noting that many early NFL teams took the same name as the baseball team in their city because people back then were so goddamn original. I remember some of the baseball teams. There wasn't one called the Losers.
I think so.
If I remember right.
I have that shit in my notes.
All right. In 1936, the NFL began the annual draft of college football players. And on October 22nd, 1939, it televised its first game where the Eagles lost to the Dodgers 23-14.
That's not a horrible loss.
No, it's not that bad. Excuse me. By the end of World War II, professional football was beginning to rival college football, which had been the more popular of the two sports for decades. During the 1940s, the league saw expansions outside of the Midwest and the Northeast, by adding its first West Coast team, the Los Angeles Rams. And in 1950, the NFL added the San Francisco 49ers, Cleveland Browns, and Baltimore Colts. From the... Oh, excuse me. This whiskey is making me burp, guys.
It is not making me burp.
They all do that to me for whatever reason. Where was I? In 1950, the NFL added the San Francisco 49ers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Baltimore Colts from the All-American Football Conference after it folded, which upped the number of teams to 13. Of course, they decided to rename the league once again to the National American Football League, but this only lasted for 3 months before they said, nah, we had it right the first time. We're going to go back to the NFL. So the National Football League was born a second time.
All right. Yay.
Did you find it in your notes over there? Or are you still looking? I'm going to take that as still looking.
I think I found it, but now I'm like reading the notes above it, and now I don't know.
Okay. During the 1950s, after the end of the AAFC, the NFL had no competitors until a gentleman named Lamar Hunt, who was the son of a Texas oil magnate, decided he wanted to start the American Football League. Originally, Hunt had tried to convince the NFL to let him put a team in Dallas or to let him purchase the Chicago Cardinals and move them to Dallas, because the only teams outside of the Midwest and the Northeast were both in California. But the NFL refused, and Hunt decided to start his own football league with blackjack and hookers. And if you don't get that joke, you need to up your Futurama game. I said it. Shortly thereafter, the NFL changed its mind and decided they were going to create a team in Dallas. And in 1960, the Dallas Cowboys were created. But by this point, Hunt had his sights set on creating a new football league and pretty much said, F y'all. All right. So Hunt formed the American Football League, and by their first season, had 8 teams set up and ready to go. The Dallas Texans, the Houston Oilers, the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Denver Broncos, the Oakland Raiders, the Boston Patriots, and the New York City Titans. The addition of these 8 teams... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. The addition of these 8 teams, half of which were in areas without a professional football presence, only helped to grow football's popularity around the country.
I'm sure.
By 1963, the AFL teams had seen significant changes. The Texans and Chargers had both relocated. The Texans had moved to Kansas City, where they changed their name to the Chiefs, and the Chargers had moved to San Diego. The New York City Titans changed their name to the New York Jets, and 2 expansion teams had been added, the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. These relocations and expansions continued to expand the footprint of professional football across the nation. And if you can't tell, the current league that we have is starting to take shape.
Yeah, all these names are starting to sound pretty familiar.
Yep. So, what did the NFL do about this AFL, you might ask? Well, they tried to ignore it, hoping it would fold and go away.
That is the number one way to get rid of your problems.
Ignore them?
Ignore them.
Hope they go away?
Yep. That is the only solution to solve every problem in your life.
Okay. Bad advice with Megan. So like I said, the NFL tried to ignore the AFL for as long as it could, because the NFL had a better and more well-organized product. They assumed that fans would not want to watch players who couldn't earn a contract in the NFL. The NFL also had a distinct media advantage, having standing contracts with CBS and several national partners. But despite all this, the AFL wouldn't go away. Are you going to be good?
I'm good.
You going to be good to drive home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even pour myself another full finger.
Okay.
I poured some more whiskey for those of you guys who are not on YouTube.
Yep. You guys saw me turn and like mess over there. Megan was reaching for the bottle, but it was just out of reach.
I have short little T-Rex arms. Sorry. I'm fucking up your episode.
Oh, no, you're fine. So one key thing that allowed the AFL to survive when other football conferences had folded is that Hunt recruited owners who were very wealthy and had the ability and patience to withstand and absorb the financial losses that he knew would come in the first few years. So by the mid-1960s, the AFL started to prosper, and actually had become a legitimate threat to the NFL.
Uh-oh.
This rivalry between the two leagues led to intense competition over college prospects and even resulted in the two leagues having their respective drafts on the same day. The NFL was still beating the AFL in ticket numbers, but the NFL owners knew, since they were not as wealthy as the AFL owners, that they couldn't continue to get into bidding wars over players. In addition, again, this is going to reference back to our other podcast, the NFL owners, as well as the AFL owners, feared that the reserve clause that they were putting into players' contracts would not hold up in court.
Huh.
If you're not familiar with that, the reserve clause was started in baseball. And essentially what it means is that a team is allowed to retain the rights to a player once the player's contract is expired. In other words, the player could not sign with other teams, and it prevented free agency. The NFL also allowed teams to retain the rights for players playing in the Canadian Football League, just in case that player became a star.
I didn't know Canada had a football league.
Oh, yeah. They even had a team in Baltimore at one point. I learned that this week doing this research.
All right.
The reason they would allow NFL teams to have that rights on the Canadian Football League players was to prevent teams from getting into bidding wars amongst themselves for a star player. So, essentially, if, let's just say, the Dallas Cowboys had rights to Joe Schmo, who blew up in Canada, no other team could go in and try to woo Joe Schmo to come to their team. So it was only the Cowboys. This policy was actually extended to the AFL once it got up and going and became a legitimate threat. And naturally, the AFL agreed and reciprocated. So this means once you were drafted by a team in either the AFL or the NFL, you were a member of that team for life unless you were traded.
Okay. I mean,
Even if you were in the Canadian Football League.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Go figure how that one works.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. I did not know half of this stuff, even close to half of this stuff. I knew nothing.
Started at zero. The agreement between the AFL and the NFL fell through when the New York Giants of the NFL signed the kicker off the the AFL. I done jacked that one up. The AFL's Buffalo Bills. And the AFL did not appreciate this, and several teams promptly signed several NFL stars to their rosters. They said, oh yeah, I'm going to see your kicker and raise you some real talent. So we're getting closer to modern era. In 1966, the NFL decided to reach out the olive branch of peace, which it's actually commonly thought that the AFL reached out, but it was actually the NFL. And the two leagues began discussions of a merger due to the NFL was afraid of the new policies that AFL Commissioner Al Davis, he was a new commissioner, they assumed it was going to put the NFL out of business. He basically had I forget what the phrase was, take no prisoners, I believe was how they described his policy. These peace discussions and merger discussions were kept secret from Al Davis. And as Lamar Hunt, the guy who created the AFL, he led the AFL side, and Tex Schramm, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, led the NFL side. On June 8th, 1966, the merger was officially announced, and the terms were both leagues would hold one draft for college players. All existing franchises would be kept and none would be relocated. That was to appease Congress. The AFL abolished its commissioner and recognized the NFL commissioner as the chief executive of professional football. The leagues would combine to form 24 teams with the intention to increase to 26 by 1969 and to 28 by 1970 or soon afterward. NFL Films would begin taping AFL games. The two leagues would maintain separate regular season schedules until 1969 and then merge into one league in 1970. The new league would be called the National Football League, and the leagues agreed to play an annual AFL NFL World Championship game in which the champions from each league would play one another. This AFL NFL World Championship game would later be renamed the Superb Owl.
The Superb Owl. All right.
So let's talk a little bit about the Superb Owl era.
Yeah.
On January 15th, and I just threw this in here because, I'm a Packers fan. On January 15th, 1967, the Green Bay Packers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10 to win the first ever Superb Owl. Since this time,
They won the first ever.
first two.
Oh, first two.
They went back to back. Woo.
Okay. Have they won any since?
Yeah, they've won two. They won one in 95 or 96 and then one in 2010.
All right.
And I'm going to pause the bus and say, so there's a reason that we're recording this while the Super Bowl is going on, and it is not on. I am not watching it because
He is salty.
I am very salty.
Oh, so salty.
I'm very frustrated with the Packers coaching staff, and fuck Tom Brady for going to the Super Bowl again. It was the Packers' year. That's all I'm going to say about that. Since the first Super Bowl, 54 other ones have been played. The creation of the Super Bowl helped to launch the NFL into the role of America's favorite spectator sport.
Lame.
The NFL has changed quite a bit from the early days of the Super Bowl, but a lot of those changes have been rule changes that I'm not really going to get into here, just because that would be too much for people that don't follow football. But I am going to talk about some of the historical changes that have happened, and one of those is the addition of expansion teams that were mentioned above, the ones that they were supposed to make after they merged, as well as 4 more expansion teams much later. The expansion teams right after the merger were the New Orleans Saints in 1967, the Cincinnati Bengals in 1968, the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1976, and then you had the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars in 1995, the Baltimore Ravens in 1996, note the asterisk, and the Cleveland Browns in 1999, and finally, the Houston Texans in 2002. The final 2 cities had both previously had NFL or AFL teams. However, the teams had decided to move cities and change their names at some point in its history.
Okay.
So let's take a dive into some of the controversial moves around the country and the trouble that they created. This one is my personal favorite because of just how intense it really got.
All right.
We're going to talk about how the Colts moved to Indianapolis.
Okay.
So I'm sure anybody that's a longtime NFL fan is aware of this story, but I think it's a great one. In 1983, Baltimore Colts owner Robert Irsay was looking to relocate his team due to unhappiness with the stadium in Baltimore and the city's unwillingness to fund a new stadium. Keep in mind, they promised Congress when they merged that there would be no team relocations. At the same time, Indianapolis and Phoenix were both trying to lure an NFL team by building new stadiums. Well, the ploy by the 2 cities worked, and Irsay began exploring the options of moving the Colts. The NFL owners voted to allow this move, or allow Irsay to move the team, and negotiations began with both cities. Meanwhile, back in Maryland, the General Assembly was preparing to give the city of Baltimore the right to seize ownership of the Colts through eminent domain. They were going to pass legislation.
Oh, snap.
The day before this legislation was passed, the folks in Phoenix got wind of it and said, "Oh, you're not about to be able to move your team. We're out. We're withdrawing our offer. No, we're good." So Irsay called up Indianapolis, the mayor of Indianapolis, and the 2 agreed that the Colts would move to Indianapolis. After the agreement was completed, the Indianapolis mayor, name of William William Hudnut,
Hudnut.
Hudnut,
Hudnut.
William Hudnut called his neighbor, John B. Smith, who owned the Indiana-based Mayflower Transit Company, and asked him to help with the move. Due to the fear that the city would seize the team the next day, at around 10 p.m. that night, 15 Mayflower moving trucks, and I'm talking the 18-wheeler Mayflower moving trucks, showed up at the Baltimore Stadium, and within 8 hours, the team was loaded up and on its way to Indianapolis. All 15 trucks took different routes to prevent the Maryland State Police from stopping and holding the trucks until the legislation was signed. And the opposite was true once the trucks reached Indiana, as each truck was given a police escort to Indianapolis. Despite his previous resolve to not build a new stadium, the Baltimore mayor was in tears at a press conference the next day and changed his tune drastically once the Colts moved.
Come back.
They moved literally under the cover of darkness, and he decided from then on that building a new stadium would be one of his top legislative priorities.
Come back.
Literally under the cover of darkness, they moved. They said, like a landlord was saying, all right, I'm about to kick you out. And they said, deuces, I'm already out. Oh, man. Ooh, that whiskey, that dill.
It's good.
That dill can be a little overpowering at some points.
Disagree.
Well, I just took a huge swallow.
Hopefully you guys didn't hear the pig honking
in
the background.
There's a dog toy that Navy had just grabbed. So now let's talk about another controversial move and how the Browns moved to Baltimore. So we're going to jump ahead to 1995 now, when the owner of the Browns, Art Modell, chose to relocate the original Browns to Baltimore. This move created controversy. Modell had negotiated a portion of ownership of the stadium in Cleveland and was unhappy because he was unhappy that he was having to split the revenue with the Cleveland Indians, who shared the stadium, even though the Indians generated the majority of the revenue due to the length of the baseball season. This led to Cleveland building new stadiums for the Indians and the Cavaliers as part of the Gateway Project. Modell assumed that with the Indians gone, his revenues would stay the same, and he refused to be a part of the Gateway Project. Over the 1993 and 94 seasons, Modell claimed to have lost $21 million due to revenue loss and rising player salaries.
Ooh,
This resulted in Modell meeting with Baltimore about potentially moving there, and in 1995, it was announced that the Browns were moving to Baltimore, starting with the 1996 season. The day after the announcement, Nate just yanked my headphone cord with her head and almost pulled equipment and me to the ground.
Navia, can you come lay down, please?
The day after it was announced that the Browns were moving to Baltimore, the city of Cleveland voted overwhelmingly to fund a new stadium. But Modell stated that the bridges down, burned, disappeared.
Too late.
He later admitted that he was in tears when he signed the agreement with Baltimore, calling it the hardest thing I've ever done. Lawsuits were filed to try and keep the Browns in Cleveland, but ultimately the NFL brokered a settlement between the city and the team in which the team would move to Baltimore as an expansion team, but the name, history, logos, colors, and records all stayed with the city of Cleveland, and that the franchise in Cleveland would be deactivated for 3 years and reactivated as the Browns for the 1999 season. So the new Browns were to be placed in the same division as the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals to continue the long-standing rivalries. Over the years, several other teams have moved, and I've got them all listed out here. The Cardinals moved from St. Louis to Phoenix in 1987 The Raiders moved from Oakland to Los Angeles and then back to Oakland.
I was like, wait, aren't they
and
still?
Then just last year or the year before moved to Las Vegas. So they've moved a lot.
Oh, they're not the Oakland Raiders anymore?
No, they're the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, that says I've not been paying attention to the NFL the past couple of years.
Yeah. The Chargers have, within the past couple of years, moved from San Diego back to LA. And the Rams moved from St. Louis to LA. And the Houston Oilers moved from Houston to Nashville. There's been a lot of moving for them promising Congress that there's not going to be any moving.
Yeah. JK.
So that's a brief history of the NFL that gets us up to today. Since it's Superb Owl Day and it may or may not still be going on, I've got a couple trivia facts for you.
More Tyler Nuggets?
These are NFL Tyler Nuggets.
Wonder segment Tyler Nuggets.
Yes.
The best Tyler Nuggets.
I don't want to call it diarrhea Tyler Nuggets, but anyway, these Tyler Nuggets start with the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers have both won 6 Super Bowls, tied for the most, followed by the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers with 5 each, and the Green Bay Packers and New York Giants with 4 wins each. Yes, I went down until the Green Bay Packers were there. I'm not biased. Deal with it.
Clearly.
The New England Patriots have the most appearances with 11. Only 4 teams have never been to a Super Bowl: the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Detroit Lions, and the Cleveland Browns. The trophy is named after Vince Lombardi, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 1967, who won the first Super Bowl. It weighs 7 pounds and is made by Tiffany & Co. The city of Miami has hosted 11 Super Bowls, followed by New Orleans with 10. And I think this is an absolutely amazing fact that may or may not be true at this point. I'm not sure if the game is over. The NFC, aka the NFL, and the AFC, aka the AFL, because that's the way most of the teams were organized when they merged.
Mm-hmm.
Each conference has won the Super Bowl 27 times, making the head-to-head record 27-27 until the 2021 Super Bowl is played.
Is this 55 or 56?
It's 50-something. I think it's 55.
Helpful.
I'm pretty sure it's 55. I know it's 55, actually. She doesn't trust me. She's
No,
Googling
I'm
it.
looking up if it's over yet.
Oh,
I think kickoff was at 7 and it's 9:38 right now.
I think it was 6:30, but halftime's like a half hour, 45 minutes. I don't have a notification on my phone from the...
They're in quarter 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want me to tell you what the score is?
No, don't.
Okay.
Well, I guess by the time this comes out, people will have already known. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Right now, the Buccaneers are up 31-9.
Oh my God. Well, guys, I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to believe it. I don't want to admit it, but I will. I thought Tom Brady was a product of Bill Belichick. Because of that, I never thought he was the GOAT. But with what he's done this year, I hate him. I hate what he's done. I hate his entire career. And he runs really stupidly.
He sold his soul to the devil to do
But
what he does.
Tom Brady is the GOAT. It pains me to admit that, but
Wow. You have it now on record. Tyler said it.
It is on record. I hate the man. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I hate him as a player. But I gotta respect what he's done. I can't say it no other way.
All right.
And I'll say the Buccaneers, they built their team this year to win now. And win now, did they? I'm tired of the Packers losing to the goddamn Super Bowl champ every year, though, in the fucking NFC championship game. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm over it.
Get off that soapbox.
The NFL season ended after the NFC championship game for me. Let's talk about this whiskey.
Final thoughts.
Wow. So you guys can tell I really like bourbon with all the bourbon we've done. If you go to our website, which I'm hoping will be published probably within the week, maybe? Question mark, Tyler?
We will see. We have some things we have to talk about after the show in regards to one aspect of the website.
Okay.
So.
Well, maybe. We've done a lot of bourbons and almost none of anything else. And I did not think I was gonna really like ryes very much.
If I can recall, you've already tried to call yourself a bourbon girl on here, and I told you that wasn't allowed yet because we had only done bourbon, basically.
Yep. So I'm starting to think you were right on making me not call that yet. Because this rye is amazing. This is the only whiskey we've done where I've come back and poured another splash because I wanted to have some more. I am incredibly impressed. I can see why this survived through the Prohibition era. This is fantastic. It's sweet and minty and dilly. Maybe because I love dill pickles, like that's why I love this so much. I don't know. But this rye has just been a treat, like absolutely amazing. So thank you, friend Shelby, for picking up this rye for us. And thank you to John for suggesting it.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of like blown away right now.
I'm going to hit a sound for you guys. Oh, man, I hit the wrong sound.
Fuck
oh,
you.
No.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I'm sure it was the wrong sound. God damn it.
Yes, I saved that. It is a clip. I have that. Megan will never live that down.
Nope, never.
I would like to say, before we get too deep into what we think about it, or at least what I think about it.
I haven't given a score yet.
I know. I would like to say, so as we stated earlier, I spent a lot of time. It's my week to research, obviously. So I spent a lot of time at the computer this week between working on the website and working on the research. And I went back and had some of the whiskeys we had previously. And there are a couple, like I would just look at the notes as I was doing it, as I was drinking it, and started really learning how to pick them out. Like I said, I learned a lot about whiskey this week just from kind of typing up the stuff, learning how it's made, the different styles, and looking at the notes as I tasted it. This is one of the first whiskeys I've been able, I feel like my eyes were closed and now they're open. And this is one of the first ones where I've been able to really get in there and taste
every flavor.
Most of the flavors. Yeah, there's been one or two things that, have come and gone that I would get a little bit of here or there. Again, but I'm presenting, so I didn't have as much time to get the intricacies of it. And I don't know if it was even on camera, but I finished it while I was talking. I poured myself a little bit more so I can sip it before we give our final thoughts. But yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there. I feel like I have learned so much in this past week just from trying whiskeys that we've done before and seeing the notes, seeing what I'm supposed to taste. Now that I look for that note and
I can taste
it in this area. So if anybody out there is struggling tasting notes or something like that and wants to, that might work for you. It definitely worked for me on helping me learn how to look for stuff. So I'm going to let you go ahead and give your number, give your rating.
Oh man. All right. Well, so when we first started doing this, I really struggled between how often I was willing to give a 10, like a perfect score.
As I recall, I haven't gone through all of them, but I think I've got the last 3 episodes left to do. You have given one perfect 10 so far, and I have given none.
I believe you are right. And I struggled with it because I there's always room for improvement, blah, 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 blah. But I also don't think that's fair because when you work your ass off and you deserve the highest recommendation or commendation you can get, you know what? I think you deserve it. So just because something can be better doesn't mean it should be. And this Templeton Rye, aged 4 years, I am giving a solid 10 out of 10. Amazing.
Wow. I'm interested to see what you would say about the, I forget if it was 6 or 8 years aged. They have a couple different flavors, or not flavors, but varieties.
Aged
years. Ages.
Yeah.
And then there's another variety. It's, I forget if it's, like small batch or what exactly it is, but it's another one.
Like, I will fight you for this whiskey to take home. It is amazing.
Interesting. Because I have Templeton Rye whiskey stones. You want those too?
No, I'm good.
I'll trade you for your whiskey stones.
Here's your gift from my mom.
Wow, fair enough. So you're going 10 out of 10, huh?
I'm going 10. This
Okay.
was impressive. I'm shocked. I thought I was a bourbon person, but my God, this rye blew my mind. I am obsessed. I will buy this again. This will be a staple in my whiskey cupboard place at home. Not that in my 600 square foot apartment, I have a place for a lot of whiskey, but this is one that I think I will have on hand all the time. I can see me drinking this while DMing D&D. I can see me drinking it after a really stressful day at my day job. I can see me just having this just because I fucking want it. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. This is right now my contender for best whiskey of 2021.
So if you're on the YouTube, you just saw me crack the fuck up and then you saw me get the shit scared out of me. So let me explain what just happened there. I looked at my phone. I saw that I had gotten 2 text messages, and one, I realized one was to myself and Megan from friend Shelby. I don't know if you've checked your phone.
I have not yet.
But
I will do that right now.
It's goddamn perfect because it is a gif of Donkey from Shrek, and it says donkey. Considering I just played that.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. God damn it.
Since I just played that sound, it is fucking perfect. As I was looking at my phone, Navia runs up and like almost knocks it out of my hand, and I didn't know she was coming. I thought she was over there, and it scared the crap out of me. I was like, what the hell
That's
is touching me?
my girl. Good dog. Yes, ma'am.
So that is what those expressions were. Shelby, you absolutely make us laugh out loud.
Fuck you, Shelby.
with that being said, we're gonna get to my number now. I like this whiskey. I like it a lot. It is smooth. I like the mint. It if I had to pick a burn, I'm gonna take a mint burn over a pepper burn.
100% every time.
And this is really good. With that being said, though, I am not a pickle person. I am not a huge fan of dill. It can be overpowering depending on how you drink it. As somebody who was presenting, I had to throw it back a lot, and it was overpowering for me. So it's different when you're sipping on it, which I got to sip on it at the beginning. I've sipped on it a little bit here at the end, which is why I poured another little, not even a finger.
I love the dill. Like, I did shoot it back as well because I wanted to get the different ways to taste it.
But you like pickles.
I love pickles.
I don't like dill pickles. With all that being said, it is good. I enjoy it. As long as I'm not shooting it, I would enjoy sipping on it. It's refreshing. And I would give it, I'm debating between 7 and 7.5. And I think I'm going to go with 7.5.
All right.
But I don't know if I want to part with this. It's one of those. It's like, I know you rated it a 10 out of 10, but I don't know if I really want to part with it. But
okay.
I think
I will text friend Shelby and see how much she paid for it so I can get some.
I think I'll let you take it home. I'll probably end up doing it. I just have so many good whiskeys here that it seems a little unfair.
Well, I live in a
Honestly.
600 square foot apartment with a dog, a cat, and a human male. So
I hope he's human. If not, that's a damn good camouflage job.
I mean, I think he's human. Not positive. Can never be positive about those things. So, I mean.
All right. So, on that note, I will make sure those ratings get added to the website. Like I said, I think I've got about 3 or 4 more episodes to go through and get I'm creating a list of everything that we've done, what episode they're in, and what we rated them. I just want you to know one good thing came out of Screwball. That was episode 4, guys. That was the episode where we started rating them, but we were dumb enough to skip rating in like one random episode, like episode 6 or 7. We just didn't rate it, or at least that I could find. Maybe I just didn't hear the right part, but I guess we did get some.
We got some mail.
Got some mail, so we'll go ahead and do this segment.
Mail time.
Yeah, so we got some mail.
All right.
Take us away.
So we our first mail came from friend Shelby, who is again one of the backbones of this podcast. So thank you, Shelby, for everything you do, everything you are. You are amazing. I know I said fuck you, but that's because I love you. You're amazing. Tyler's trying to make out with my dog right now, and I'm a little uncomfortable.
I like the tease, nay.
But this subject line is, "It's Brittany, bitch." Hey, friends. Sharing a new Hulu show trailer that was shared with me. Just want to say, Megan, you're a genius for doing the Brittany episode like a week before this dropped. Beat Hulu to it. Shelby. And I am so proud and impressed with myself and amazed by myself by the fact I did a free Britney segment before Hulu. Like before it became mainstream and popular. I'm amazing. Go me. I deserve those claps. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
If you look closely on the YouTube video, you can see Megan's head just grow about 4 sizes right there.
I did. I had to adjust the headphones to make them a little bit bigger.
I don't know if she's going to be able to get through the doorway.
Probably not. I'm going to have to we're going to have to get butter and rub it on my ears and slide me
soap
through.
And butter. In addition to that email, did you have anything else you were going to say?
Yes. So, my mom, oh my God, Mom, I love you so much that it hurts.
Me and your mom had a nice conversation.
Yes, you did. I really want you to read it because I don't know if I can read this conversation.
It's all right. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. It spans over.
Oh my God. I woke up and there was 12 emails and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. And it was between Tyler and my mother, who they've never met each other.
Nope, never, not once. I was sitting here working on the website. I was sitting here working on a website. I think I was honestly in a meeting at work, but
Shh, don't tell.
They didn't hear that. Anyway, it came through and I was like, well, yeah, so
I can feel myself starting to blush. Like my cheeks are getting redder.
All right. So I don't know what the right order to do this in.
I don't even know.
I'm just going to start with it.
But I know the part I want you to read because I can't read it out loud.
All right. It says, nope, I'm on the wrong one. She seriously sent us 3.
A lot. Mom, I love you so much, but whoa, put everything in one email.
All right. So no, that one says me again. It starts with me. Here we go. Oh no, that one says hello again too. Jesus Christ.
I have the first one.
Yeah, if you got the first one, that would be great.
Okay.
Just give me a direction to go.
This is from my mom. I'm going to say her name is Leona. I think I've mentioned it before.
Yes.
Because I absolutely love the name Leona. So this is from friend Leona of the podcast, also known as friend Megan's mom. Good morning, Megan and Tyler. I didn't email last week since you mentioned you wanted emails from more than just Megan's parents. Whoops. I will ask your listeners to send you an email. If I can do it, anyone can. You hear that? My mom's a hippie from like the golden age of hippies. So she can send an email. All you fuckers can send emails. She says, if I can do it, anyone can, considering I'm not in the 21st century yet. I wanted you to know that I was talking to Megan's cousin, Christine, and she mentioned how Megan and Tyler help make it through her workday. She is really enjoying your podcast. I totally love it. I wish I could have tried some of the whiskeys. Maybe you could plan a road trip, which after COVID, I would love to take Tyler to Colorado.
Wait, I think you misread that. It says, I wish I could have you try some of my whiskeys.
Oh, I did misread that. You're right. Either way.
Yes, we would love to take a road trip out there, or even better, a train trip.
Does a train go from here to Colorado?
Well, you got to go up to DC and then over to Chicago and then out to Denver. But
I mean, yeah,
it only takes like 4.5 days.
Oh, yeah, not a big deal.
I would love to do it.
I also would love to do it. And Tyler's been such a big part of my life. He's one of my best friends. I want him to come out to Colorado and see Coors Field and meet all my family because he's like my brother and I love him. So we will be out there as soon as the world is not on fire anymore.
Oh, feelings. I love you too.
No, we just
so much feelings.
Love.
Yeah. Ugh, feelings.
Ugh. That's all I'm going to read of that email. My mom just keeps saying really nice things and I love her and she's the sweetest person in the world. And Tyler, you can read.
All right. I'm going to skip. I don't know if these are in the right order or not, but I get another email that says, me again. I really, oh no, this is out of order. I asked, damn, let me find the right one. I'm sorry. It's
she sent a lot of emails.
She sent like,
and I love it. I love it. I wish all of you guys would send as many emails as my hippie mother, not in the 21st century would, because this would be amazing.
Okay. So I don't know exactly. I'm going to jump in right here. So she had, sent us an email saying, she liked Wild Turkey 101 or Rare Breed. And she wanted us to try it. She said, the honey is way too sweet to drink alone, but it goes great in any flavor of lemonade. She also emailed us something about, you know what? Maybe I can find it in the sim.
You talking about the dress?
Yeah, she sent something talking about the
First Lady's dress.
The First Lady's dress.
Which is amazing. And I do encourage you guys to look up the First Lady's dress that she wore at the inauguration party.
I don't know where she wore it.
She had all sorts of flowers etched into it. It's an amazing story. Check it out.
I know, and I emailed her back and basically said if she, if anybody's never been to DC, never been to the Smithsonian museums, they have an exhibit with all the dresses from the inaugurations. I don't know if it's all, but it's a lot of dresses from inaugurations. Excuse me. And so that's how the conversation got started. And I really can't find the start of this conversation. It's all over the place, but it's
that's where I get it from, guys.
So we start talking about the dress. I tell her about what's going on in DC. She said something about wanting to get a sticker. Here we go. This is from Ty. This is my reply. She replied back, awesome, thanks. I've never been to DC. It will go on my bucket list. As you can see, I'm not the best with email and read your second before I saw this one. Do you know if they only wear the dress once? It's really beautiful. I would want to wear it more than once. Of course, it may not be from the same, of course, I may not be from the same class society. I really do hope you're feeling better. Talk my girl in Houston into a road trip and come see Colorado. I look forward to meeting you sometime in the future here or there. Thank you so much for applying. And I basically said, I have no idea what they do if they wear them once. I just know that I've seen that exhibit. And then she goes on to, okay, I lied. Here's one more email. This is what Megan doesn't want to read.
I do not want to read this out loud. Mom, I love you so much, but oh my God.
We just saw Megan's head grow 4 sizes. We're about to see mine grow 4 sizes.
Oh my God.
Okay, I lied. Here's one more email. I heard Tyler is very good looking. I've just listened to the podcast. I haven't watched any. I was picturing Bruto. She says Brutus, but I think she meant Bluto from Popeye. Per your conversations, I will now have to figure out YouTube so I can watch your shows. I will keep you posted. I thought Tyler might like to hear. Have a great day, both of you. P.S. Tyler, don't go back to that barber shop. And I replied, just basically said, thank you. My head just swelled up 3 or 4 times its normal size. And she goes, I just like to share when people give compliments. Don't want to make any girlfriends jealous. Just for reference, there's no girlfriends. I am way too busy for that. And she goes, the person who told me that has terrific taste, so I'm sure it's true. I won't mention her name as I don't want to cause her any embarrassment. I really do enjoy you and Megan teaching us. So, yep, that is why I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. My head just grew 4 sizes. I think I went a little red there.
I woke up on Monday and read through all these, and then Tyler proceeded to send me like a million gifs of different like sexy poses. Like LMFAO doing Sexy and I Know It. And there were so many others. And I
knew it would make Megan so uncomfortable.
It was mortifying.
I'm going to take a guess.
Mortifying.
I'm going to take a guess because your mom mentioned, where was that email? She said your cousin.
Christine,
is that your source? Deductive. I'm going to use my Sherlock Holmes deductive reasoning. I don't know. I don't mean to embarrass cousin Christine.
I'm not saying anything other than I love you, Mom. I love you, Christine. Please keep listening to our podcast. And I'm mortified, but I love you anyway. Even more mortified.
That's about, if her face could, well, I guess it can't express noise, but.
I am slightly red, and it is not from the whiskey at all. But my mom has always enjoyed embarrassing me. So, I mean, that's fair.
That's a parent's job, I feel like.
It is.
Once you reach a certain age.
It is. So thank you, friend Leona / friend mom, Megan's mom, for emailing us. And thank you, friend Shelby, for letting me know that I am amazing.
Yes. And for running our errands.
Yes. And running our errands because I'm an idiot.
Yes. And surprising us with gifts.
Yes. Shelby, you are a backbone of this podcast. Thank you so much.
One more time.
For Shelby.
For Shelby.
She gets all the applause.
All right. And I guess on that note,
is this the end?
This is the end. I think we're going to try to keep, we're sitting at an hour 27. I think we're going to try to keep episodes between an hour 15 and an hour 30. So
and that's what most of you guys have said you enjoy. So that's what we're going to stick with.
So this is going to be on the longer end of the spectrum.
It is.
But we will go ahead and
we'll end it here. Thank you guys so much. Please email us. Send me some more stories. Hopefully you're not my mom or my dad. But if you are, we like having mail time.
I forgot one thing.
Oh, Tyler's adding something.
Yep. When I did the social media blurb, I forgot to say, if you have a drinking problem, reach out. That number will be in the description.
Yes.
So I'm sorry that's at the end, but it is in the episode. So
it is.
On that note.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.